Hello and welcome to Adult Foster Care Policy Training and Enforcement Sections video, Understanding the Normal Aging Process. In this video, we'll focus on some of the changes we experience as we age. We'll take a look at the physical changes, emotional changes, social changes, and lastly, how to cope with these changes. Let's begin our journey. According to the Boston University School of Public Health, the rapid growth of the elderly population makes it increasingly important to understand the aging process. We all experience the aging process either in ourselves or by caring for others, and we can't stop the effects of the physical and emotional losses that come with aging. Knowing what to expect during the aging process, as well as promoting lifestyle choices that maximize not only longevity, but also the quality of life during aging, and how to manage the changes the body undergoes, can equip caregivers to assist individuals to age gracefully. The World Health Organization explains aging as a gradual biological decrease in physical and mental capability, also a growing risk of disease and ultimately death. These changes are neither linear nor consistent, and they are only loosely associated with the person's age and years. Beyond biological changes, aging is often associated with other life transitions, such as retirement, relocation to more appropriate housing, and the death of friends and partners. The zeal for life dwindles due to many changes during the aging process. Coming to terms with this process can be painful, physically, socially, and emotionally. Let's take a closer look at some of these changes. The World Health Organization further explains some of the common conditions in older age include hearing loss, cataracts, and refractive errors, back and neck pain, osteoarthritis, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, diabetes, depression, and dementia. As people age, they are more likely to experience several conditions at the same time. Older age is also characterized by the emergence of several complex health conditions commonly called geriatric syndromes. They're often the consequence of multiple underlying factors that include frailty, urinary incontinence, falls, delirium, and pressure ulcers. Let's further discuss some of the physical changes listed on the screen. We'll start with metabolism. As bodily functions slow, the food, medicine, and drinks consumed are not processed as quickly. Appetite may decrease, and high-fiber foods are hard to chew and can irritate the intestines. Prescription medication and diets may cause decreased saliva production and difficulty swallowing. Alcohol and caffeine intake may also affect each person differently. Moving on to taste and smell. The sense of taste and smell work together. A decrease in one ability can lead to the decrease in another. The number of taste buds decrease as a person ages, with the remaining taste buds losing mass. It's not uncommon to also experience dry mouth more often, which can affect the sense of taste. Suggest to residents to avoid smoking and exposure to harmful particles in the air, which can accelerate the loss of taste and smell. Also suggest to check with their doctor that medications aren't altering the ability to taste and smell things. Have them look into products such as gas detectors that give off alarms that can be seen and heard if there is a concern about being unable to smell gas leaks. During the aging process, the brain loses some of the structures connecting nerve cells, and the function of the cells themselves diminish, increasing those senior moments. Memory may become less efficient with age, and reactions to situations slow. Boston University Biology of Aging indicated cognitive decline is inevitable, but the extent to which it occurs and how rapid of an onset varies among individuals. There's much evidence that cognitive decline is neither uniform among people, nor is it uniform across the different cognitive functions of the brain. The symptoms of cognitive decline that are associated with aging include some of the following: slower inductive reasoning or slower problem solving, diminished spatial orientation, declines in perceptual speed, decreased numeric ability, losses in verbal memory, few changes in verbal ability. On this slide, we'll talk about some organ functions during the normal aging process. Lungs lose elasticity and rib cage muscles shrink, which decreases breathing capacity. Maximum breathing capacity diminishes with each decade of life, starting about age 20. This may manifest as shortness of breath, lung infections such as pneumonia and bronchitis, low oxygen levels, which reduces the body's ability to fight diseases, and abnormal breathing patterns such as sleep apnea. Some ways caregivers can assist to prevent these problems include some of the following. Provide information and suggest a resident stop smoking. Offer daily physical exercise to improve lung function. And assist residents to avoid lying in bed or sitting for long periods, which allows mucus to collect in the lungs, especially right after illness or injury. As age progresses, heart rate slow, and blood vessels and arteries may become stiffer, causing the heart to work harder. This can lead to high blood pressure or hypertension and other heart problems. A caregiver can offer an exercise program and suggest that the residents participate. Provide a healthy diet and provide ways to assist residents to manage their stress. Bladder muscles weaken, causing frequency to urinate and possible incontinence. Women are more likely than men to be incontinent. Increased frequency in urination is common with age, as the bladder muscles relax without warning during infection or irritation, damage to nerves, and other causes. Individuals are more susceptible to urinary tract infection, or a UTI, as they age. A caregiver can assist residents with timely assistance using the bathroom and encourage residents to ask for assistance sooner rather than waiting till it is a dire need. On this slide, we'll touch on skin, teeth and gums, eyes, and hearing during the aging process. The skin may become thinner and more elastic or fragile. Individuals may bruise easily or notice the skin has become drier or easily tears. Cuts and bruises will take longer to heal. Pressure ulcers from immobility are common. When assisting with bathing, take more precautions by bathing in warm and not hot water, and use mild soaps or moisturizers. Ask the resident to use sunscreen and protective clothing when outdoors. Teeth and gums. The gums may pull away or recede from the teeth with age. Certain medication can also cause dry mouth, leaving teeth and gums vulnerable to decay and infection. Suggest or assist, if in the resident care agreement, the resident brush and floss daily and keep regular checkups with the dental hygienist. Eyesight changes. Peripheral vision decreases as well as depth perception, which may affect daily activities such as reading, watching television, or walking. Individuals may also experience a decreased clarity of color perception. Suggest regular vision exams. Hearing. Loss of hearing as age progresses decreases the ability to distinguish sounds when there is background noise. Additionally, the loss of the ability to hear sounds at the higher end of the spectrum, such as women and children's voices, is very common. There are a number of assistive devices besides hearing aids to help maintain quality of life. Telephone amplifying devices, TV and radio listening systems, and emergency alerts for doorbells, smoke detectors, and alarm clocks that can signal visually and with vibrations. The next physical change is sexuality. Men and women experience physical changes such as dysfunction and menopause. Stress is common among seniors and tends to stem from loss and grief. The older an individual becomes, they lose independence, closeness and affection with the loss of a partner, may have less finances, less or no privacy, and lose more people or pets, which can get emotionally and physically painful. Pressure among seniors may also result from lack of a purpose associated with retirement, children leaving home, or the change in the child-parent roles, and physical changes occurring in their bodies. Older people that continue to have healthy relationships can help prevent depression and improve self-esteem and physical health. Share the following suggestion from the Mayo Clinic with residents. Take care of yourself and stay as healthy as possible. And beyond a healthy diet, exercise, not smoking or drinking too much alcohol or caffeine, take time to socialize, laugh, think positive, practice gratitude, try new activities. George Bernard Shaw got it right in his quote, "You don't stop laughing when you grow old. You grow old when you stop laughing." The last physical changes we will discuss are our bones, joints, and muscles as we age. Somewhere around age 35, bones begin to lose minerals faster than they are being replaced. Bones shrink in size and density as you age, which makes them weaker and susceptible to fractures. Vertebrae shorten, resulting in a shorter stature. Muscles become stiff, lose strength and flexibility. You may become less coordinated with decreased mobility. Reactions are slower, and falls and injury are more likely. Calcium and vitamin D supplements will promote healthy bones, muscles, and joints. Exercise, diet, and assistance to move will help prevent bone loss and loss of muscle strength. So far in this series, we've discussed as we age, physical issues hinder our ability to do activities, and disorders and disabilities are more prevalent. Beyond the physical changes as we age, we also face social issues which impact our risk of illness physically and emotionally. We'll discuss a few of those social issues here. Lack of difficulty with mobility affects socializing. It's harder to move and get around without assistance. We stop driving. We choose not to go out because it's too hard or we don't want to bother anyone to transport us somewhere. Social activities. Our social networks dwindle due to loss of friends, closing of facilities such as senior activity halls, etc. We stop doing those activities or projects that we used to enjoy. We stop going to meal times with others as chewing and swallowing becomes harder. Our finances. We may have a reduced or fixed income, making it difficult to purchase items or go on outings, and we don't want others to pay our way. Isolation. Social relationships change or fade away. Family and friends stop visiting. We tend to stay in and separate from others as we feel we're a burden, causing us to have low self-esteem and depression. Relationships. Friends die, and as retirement years roll on, coworkers stop reaching out. Family roles change. Children become the caregivers and visit less and less. As a caregiver, encourage residents to talk with their doctor about these social changes. Doctors can often conduct a social history to gain insight and develop a plan, which we'll discuss on the next slide. Doctors can use the social history to help the older person and caregivers make plans for care and social support. Doctors may ask some of the following questions. Who are the family members and the relationship between the older person and the family members? What is the individual's marital or companionship status? What are the relationships with people that they see regularly? What is the individual's living arrangements, financial status, work history, or education? What are the typical daily activities? For example, how are meals being prepared? What activities add meaning to life? And where are problems that may be occurring? Is there a need for and availability of caregivers? What is the history of losses and traumas? For example, patterns of family violence, episodes of sexual assault, or lifetimes of racial oppression, and the coping strengths born out of this adversity. What is the history of substance use and legal issues? What is the older person's own caregiving responsibilities? For example, they may be caring for a family member and reluctant to report their own symptoms, which may interfere with their caregiving. What is the individual's concerns about home, neighborhood, transportation, or access to goods and services? Are there other specific worries or stresses in the individual's daily life? We'll move on to emotional changes as we age. Dr. Rebecca Reddy, PhD, stated in her article printed in Psychology Today, changes in emotions with age are complex. Older adulthood is not simply a time of emotional well-being and tranquility. Strong emotions exist, and reactions to important life events may increase with age rather than diminish. With this in mind, as a caregiver, understanding these emotional challenges can empower you to assist residents and offer the positive solutions that we will discuss later in this presentation. We've discussed aging is a stage of life that we can't stop, and each person adjusts to aging differently. Those that fight and try to resist the physical and social changes of life can develop emotional issues. The first emotional issue we'll discuss is denial. Choosing to ignore the aging process and changes that occur can lead to further complicated health issues. The next change, lack of purpose and identity, helplessness and hopelessness. The individual may feel they are useless, helpless, and overwhelmed by physical problems, changes in living arrangements, or negative events. This can lead to loss of independence and is closely connected to our sense of identity. We can't do things we love by ourselves anymore, such as driving, cooking, or doing things that we used to do. We feel like a burden and have low or no stamina to carry on day to day. The next emotional change is stress and guilt, which are common. Physical losses, such as our possessions, social losses, and the guilt that accompany aging, can be very difficult emotionally. Loss of people and things, loss of our spouse or significant other, close friends, a beloved pet, our vehicle, home, or familiar surroundings. Feelings of guilt that we could have prevented the situation, if only. Grief and sadness are normal reactions to such situations, and we can't stamp out these reactions in ourselves or in older individuals. The next change, isolation and loneliness. Emotional well-being is rooted in socializing and having relationships and interaction. Love, affection, and intimacy is needed throughout life. As we age, we may isolate ourselves as we are no longer able to experience real-world outings, such as shopping, dinner, social gatherings. Less interaction with family and friends brings on a sense of uselessness, powerlessness, and hopelessness. The next change is anxiety. Anxiety is an emotion we experience when we're not sure we can handle the future. It is then manifested into anger toward those closest to the individual, such as family and the caregivers, which can lead to further conflict. Another resistance mechanism is stubbornness, a way of taking back some control with defiance and resistance, which leads to difficulty having a good relationship with others in the home or caregivers and family. A new diagnosis of illness or dementia. As we age, we may dwell on how things were and yearn for those days again, refusing to accept change. A new diagnosis may lead to denial or choosing not to accept doctor recommendations and leaning on home remedies, causing further complications, and if left without proper treatment, can lead to jeopardizing health and life. The last emotional change, depression, loss of a loved one, former lifestyles, relationships, health, vision, hearing, capability levels, mobility, or independence can lead to depression. As a caregiver, helping the individual understand these feelings can be normal and get help if the feelings continue for an extended time or interfere with their daily living. If these issues are not addressed, the risk of feeling of suicide may develop. Let's review the suicide risk factors. As a caregiver, knowing the risk factors of suicide is key. In the article, Older Adults and Suicide, What You Can Do to Help, found in Psychology Today, the following risk factors were identified as being the most significant for increasing the risk of suicide in older adults. 1. Being alone for long periods of time and having a sense of isolation. A caregiver can help older adults stay socially connected. 2. Physically ill. Ensure the individual has met with their doctor for proper medication and care of the illness. 3. Pain. Physical or emotional pain. Encourage the individual to seek professional assistance from a doctor or therapist. 4. Loss of ability or decline in a person's ability to care for themselves. A caregiver can encourage, provide timely assistance with needs, and assurance. 5. Mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, alcohol, and other substance use disorders. A new diagnosis of dementia. A caregiver can ensure that medication is passed correctly and on time. Also, advise the administrator if you notice medications in the resident's room that need to be verified with the doctor and added to the med list. As a caregiver, it's important to empower the older person on how to cope with the emotional changes of aging in order to prevent further development of more severe physical and mental issues. So what can you do as a caregiver? Knowing what to expect as you and those you care for age is the best way to prevent mental and physical health problems and to adopt healthy lifestyles to make golden years comfortable and enjoyable. Let's further discuss each of the following: proper diet, physical activity, exercise your brain, regular visits to physician, and positive outlook, laugh. Proper diet. Reports from the World Health Organization indicate that malnutrition is a significant challenge for people age 65 and above. However, it's underdiagnosed since its symptoms, which include lightheadedness, muscle weakness, and weight loss, can easily be interpreted as symptoms of another ailment. Proper diet is therefore important in ensuring a happy and healthy life. Here are some tips to guide residents on a healthy diet as they age. Eat lean protein and high fiber fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Fiber helps the slowed down digestive system and keeps an individual feeling energetic. Encourage residents to seek advice from their health provider regarding supplements. They may not be able to consume all the minerals the body needs through diet. Certain minerals, such as calcium and vitamin D, which are essential for healthy bones, can be absorbed in the form of supplements. Suggest to drink plenty of water, even when a resident does not feel thirsty. With the normal aging process, a resident may not feel thirsty as often as the body still needs the water. If a resident's urine is dark and cloudy, that could be a sign that they are dehydrated. Nutritionalists recommend seniors drink 3 to 5 glasses of water each day. Recommend eating with a friend, a neighbor, or a family member. This will allow the resident to spend time with others and connect, and also ensures eating well and not skipping meals. It's also fun and more enjoyable than eating alone. Physical activity. A study conducted on older sedentary Americans aged 70 to 89 found those who met to walk around a track twice a week under supervision were 28% less likely to be persistently disabled physically as opposed to those who did not walk. This study indicates that it's not too late to begin and shows the importance of physical exercise. The benefits of exercise include some of the following. It helps relieve chronic pain brought about by conditions such as arthritis, pinched nerves, or osteoporosis. It helps keep weight under control, which prevents obesity, diabetes, and some cardiovascular diseases. Exercises like muscle training and resistance help reverse bone loss, which comes with age and gives a strong back and shoulders. It feels good after a workout, and energy levels go up. Sleep is better after exercise. Exercise boosts the immune system. Posture and balance are improved. It assists in keeping mentally strong and alert. It lowers blood pressure. Here are a few tips for a caregiver to share with residents. Consult with a healthcare provider before signing up for an exercise program. Start slowly and increase the pace and frequency as stamina improves. Identify an interesting exercise to look forward to doing. This could be swimming, walking with a friend or a pet, or even yoga. Exercise with a friend to motivate each other. Or join a class. Exercises for the brain. There are ways to keep the mind sharp, starting with eating a healthy diet and maintaining an exercise program. With old age comes forgetfulness and other mental challenges. Here are some ways to help residents stimulate the mind. Learning a new instrument, game, or language. Adding variations in usual activities, or join an activity group. Color, paint, or draw. Join a cooking class, or read a book. Playing word games or crossword puzzles and advancing to harder ones to increase the challenge. Social interaction and carrying on conversations are mentally stimulating. Encourage residents to attend social functions, movie night, bingo, church, working on a puzzle with a friend, or invite a family member for ice cream. Preventative measures. It's important residents see a physician often and go for screenings and testings as recommended. Some of these may include checking blood pressure, screening for cancer, pelvic exams, screening for diabetes, eye tests, hearing tests, mammogram, screening for prostate cancer, dental exam. It's also recommended to get vaccinations for tetanus, flu, and pneumonia. Protective measures to take in the home may include check for loose wiring and remove extension cords. Check for frayed carpets or loose rugs that could cause a fall. Ensure electrical and gas appliances are up to date. Ensure proper lighting in all rooms. Remove furniture or things that can obstruct a resident's path and could cause a fall. Have a positive outlook. Some of the ways caregivers can assist residents to deal with the painful emotional challenges that come with old age are 1. Suggest to join a support group or start a support group in the home. Interacting with individuals who have gone through similar experiences help others feel less alone, face issues, and possibly work through them. 2. Recommend residents spend time with at least one other person a day. This could be a neighbor, a friend, or a family member. Physical interactions are more enriching and helps ward off feelings of loneliness and depression. 3. Schedule outings the residents can attend. Visit a museum, go shopping, maybe go to lunch, go to a concert or a park. 4. Travel or create a travel experience in the home to a place where residents have always wanted to go. It doesn't have to be expensive. It could be going to a national park in town that residents want to visit, or create a Hawaiian luau for everyone to enjoy. 5. Encourage acceptance of the changes that have happened in each person instead of trying to resist them. Getting old and losing loved ones is inevitable. It happens to everyone. Share the information we've discussed today with residents. Once residents accept and enjoy what they have, they will be free to live a happier life. 6. Propose residents indulge in a new hobby, like golf, biking, or baking, or pay attention to an old one. Set up croquet in the yard. Offer a cooking class, or crafts, or painting class, etc. 7. Bring in volunteers to offer to teach a new language, or a sport, or even a musical instrument. 8. Schedule church services or meditation to take care of spiritual needs. This will lead to a more relaxed life. 9. Bring in volunteers. This is a great way to meet people who share the same interests as residents and gives the residents something to look forward to each week. 10. Help residents write a memoir. Reflect on lessons, struggles, and victories of their life to share with the world. 11. Laugh. Give residents a reason to laugh. Look through old photos and the hairstyles and how beautiful or handsome they thought they looked. Watch old TV shows and critique what used to be good acting, or how old those actors are now. Help residents enjoy life, and as the saying goes, laughter is the best medicine. Providing for the physical, social, and emotional needs of residents will ensure they will enjoy their golden years. Thank you for joining us today for our discussion on the normal aging process. On the next slide, we have provided resources used in this presentation and for you to further explore the topic of aging.